Welcome to Impington Sports Centre. It's very noisy today because behind me I have about 40 swimmers herring up and down the lanes for Cambridge Triathlon Club. I'm here today with Ben and Rachel. So can you just talk us through the transitions from discipline to discipline?
So a transition is the art of getting changed without flashing anyone as quickly as you can. There's obviously different transitions. You come out of a swim, you've got to get onto a bike. We tend to wear specialised outfits which you can wear for both, so you don't actually have to get changed, you just have to get rid of the wetsuit or swim skin. Try and find where on earth it is in transition you're meant to put your bike where your shoes are. There's plenty to forget, little things like remembering to put your race number on can get you into all sorts of trouble. It's the kind of thing it's best to do with a mental checklist in your mind as you get there.
Rachel, anything to add?
Not really, no, it's just all fun, changing shoes over quickly, remembering which way your race number, there's an order that you have to, put your helmet on last, and just remembering that, and it's part of the fun of it, it's a bit I like actually, the chaos of transition. Remembering where your bike is a good one as well.
So can you tell me how you guys get in the zone for a race?
Most of these races are quite long, so you don't want to get too enthusiastic off the start. So there's no kind of psyching yourself up for it, per se, but there's a lot of thinking through and doing mental run-throughs of what's going to happen and what you have to do when you get to transition and what technique you need to be focusing on, that kind of thing.
Rachel?
I'm really competitive, so for me it's trying to rein that in. And I've got much better. We're really lucky to have someone here that's gone into their sports psychology, and she really helped me. She did some stuff, so I tried to think about my race and not worrying about other people and getting freaked out by the competition.
So have you got any kind of mental exercises or thoughts, things like mindfulness, that help you in racing, or is it just a sport?
So in a race, so you're coming up towards the end of the swim, you need to think about what you need to do in the transition, because there's a lot to do and you will forget to do it otherwise. Towards the end of a race, that's when it's really beginning to hurt, and there's a lot of mental fortitude trying to keep going at a pace which feels like you can't do it, but isn't so far out that you really can't do it. And to hold that pace and to hold it and to hold it and hold it until you can finally get to the end.
Yeah, I think it's just trying to stay positive and keep thinking you can do this. You've done the training, you've done the hard work. You know you can do it. And I think for me, luckily, I've got a running background, so the last element for me is a good one. So that helps. I think it will soon be onto the run, and then I'm more in my comfort zone.
Are there any events that you've had a particular impact on, or had a particular impact on you, or any you're looking forward to especially?
Well, I'm looking forward. I've got the European Championships and the World Championships. I'm going to Romania for a long distance race. It's a triathlon without any running on the end. In terms of races that have had some kind of impact on me, my very first triathlon, I struggled my way through, got a puncture halfway through in wind and rain and cold, and it didn't put me off somehow.
Rachel?
I had my first experience of European competition this year in Ibiza for aquathon, so minus the bike. It really, really gives you a focus and something to train towards, but that was a whole new level for me, and really enjoyed that. And then I'm lucky to get the club place for London Marathon, so that's my goal this year, which is the biggest challenge, definitely, for sure. Trying to do long 20-mile runs is a new one on me. So
That's amazing. So thank you, Rachel and Ben, for speaking to us. We're looking forward to seeing you race later, and good luck.
I wanted to learn more about how the athletes get mentally prepared, so I spoke to the swimming instructor to find out more.
So can you tell me about how you get ready mentally for a race?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, actually. So triathlon is an endurance sport, so there's plenty of time to think. Some people get very, very nervous. Different people have different techniques. Good preparation is probably the key thing. There's a lot more done about sports psychology these days. People are much more aware of it, and it's a key part of it, because everybody will go through tough times in a triathlon, and you've got to work your way through that.
So can you talk me through any of those particular tactics that help out?
So visualization is something that people do and work through a race beforehand. Personally, I find it's very useful just to focus on the moment. So when you're going through a particular bad patch, just to focus on your technique or something like that. And actually you find, rather than getting yourself into a downward spiral, just focusing on your technique, you'll come through it and start to feel good again for later on in the race. And most races, because they last at least an hour, if not two, up to Ironman, which is up to 9, 10, 11, 12 hours, there's plenty of times where you're going to have those ups and downs, and you know you'll come through and come out the other side.
So have you had any particularly difficult races that, your mental strength has helped pull you through?
Yeah, I think everybody does, and sometimes it's just poor performance. Sometimes it's just, I've done races where, even just a running race where you get the pacing completely wrong, go out way too hard and completely die painfully, a painful death. You learn from that and you come back stronger next time and you get the pacing right.
So thank you so much for joining us today, and good luck with today and the training.
Thank you.